Hi everyone and welcome back to the May monthly WARNO tournament. Today we have a right royal mashup. Two British players playing against each other for the Royal Queen's Jubilee weekend over here. We have Awoodenbox versus Hippie. Awoodenbox playing as the 3rd Armoured and Hippie playing as the 4th Motsuchin Division. Hippie is on the right in blue and Awoodenbox is on the left in red. So as always, just a little bit of confusion with the colours. This game's very good at that. In terms of positioning at this stage of the game, there's a good spread of units for both players. I do see Hippie is sending quite a lot to the bottom. It's possible he's going for the pretty standard Foxtrot Rush, which is probably quite effective to some extent against Awoodenbox because he's playing as the 3rd Armoured, but he has brought in Apache's F-15C Eagle coming in straight away, going against the MiG-29. Oh, that is a nasty loss of that F-15. I mean, the MiG-29 versus an F-15, I would have expected the F-15 to absolutely trash it, but they took each other out. Up at the top, not a lot of units for either player. Couple of defensive units for Hippie there, some have Clara. Not a lot coming up that way for Awoodenbox. He's certainly not going to do a push. Very little going for the middle for Awoodenbox as well. Hippie's got a few units, but not much. I think the majority of Awoodenbox's money went on the F-15 and these Apaches. They are only rocket Apaches, though. SPG-9 getting wrecked, getting a bit too far out there. All of these infantry going to take a lot of fire from these Apaches. Really good shout by Awoodenbox to bring those in. Another MiG-29 AA coming in to try and take out those choppers. You know, it's just dawned on me that Hippie had actually brought in a command with him. That was blue a moment ago. It didn't even click in my brain until he just lost control of the point. That's a really weird move. Good effort. He did cap it briefly. Can this MiG-29 kill these Apaches? It's coming. There's one down. Be nice if he could kill the other one. At least you get a little bit of a win from that. He lost a lot of units there. Conker's being deployed in a different position than he would have liked, I'm sure. Shilka getting some shots off, and that chopper is dead. Up here at the top, we've got a Stinger there and an LRS squad, yeah. And Bradley in defensive positioning, but that's pretty much all Hippie could do with getting control of this area. There's not a lot to stop him doing that. He does probably have more units in the middle, however, these engineers coming in at the top there, but they're not engineers with satchel charges, so they pose less of a threat. They are big squads, though, much like the... In fact, I was about to say they have Clara, but no, the Clara are only a 4-man squad. I don't think Hippie has enough units there to defend against those engineers. I think he'll be in trouble. Some Pioneers coming in there. Those will be helpful because they do have satchel charges. And various Motsuchin coming in. I don't think Hippie will be making another push for this point. There's a lot of reinforcements there now. One of those Apaches is still alive. I'm quite shocked by that. I think maybe he brought in 3 choppers, and I was thinking it was only 2. I've Clara up there. We'll be going head-to-head with these LRS. More Engineers Dragons coming in. They're not the first choice I would go for when going through the forest here. I'd want something preferably with flames. There's some Engineers Flash, for example. I expect they're coming down the centre. No commands coming in for either player right now. Oh, command at the top. I spoke too soon. Command there for Awoodenbox. Probably going to hotel. Motsuchin coming in at the bottom there. May or may not go towards the centre, of course. In BMP-1s. And Pioneer Flams coming in the centre there. And a command being called in now for Charlie. Engineers coming in at the bottom as well. Awoodenbox put down a fire support marker on those Conkers. Shilka's taking fire from the dragons. Awoodenbox really likes his engineer dragons. Five minutes into the game, and what I can say straight away is neither player has any kind of advantage. I don't think 6 points in the bank for Hippie is going to help much long term. The fact that Hippie lost so much right at the start there has kind of put him in an awkward position that he can't now push aggressively. He's trying to maintain his small advantage in the centre, but Awoodenbox is bringing in his own reinforcements. Right now, the only place I would see as pushable for either player, easily, is the top. Pushing into either Alpha or even Hotel. Either would be possible. Nice strike by the MiG-23 there. Or, in the case of Awoodenbox, he could charge through into Golf, but he obviously doesn't realise he can. Because there's absolutely nothing in Golf. I mean, he does have this Bradley around the back, though. Surely he's close enough to see, if he gets to the edge of there, that there's nothing in that point. That's a supply truck, which I assume is going to resupply that up there. Though they're being engaged by the engineers. Such a shame for Awoodenbox right now, because he could take that with little effort and put a defensive line up there. Command being called in now for that point. Plus 4 points currently to Awoodenbox because he has commands in Hotel and Juliet. But in terms of at the other side, command coming in here, command infantry going to the center, I assume, and a command coming in at the bottom. Command at the bottom is going to be very susceptible to that Bradley if there's no defenders there. CV coming into the center now to provide fire support. Lots of fire coming out of those buildings, but shooting through other buildings. No line of sight issues there. I'm just being special and having a look at the detail on this vehicle while not much is happening. You gotta admire the units as well. I mean, the infantry guys look very detailed. Even if they do have a little bit of clipping issue with their hands and the guns. BMP-1's getting some kills there, I think. Lots of engineers flashing the dragon on that side, but there aren't actually any infantry in that side. There's a jet coming in. Hippie coming in with another HE bomber. Off it goes. Didn't get anything. Sorry, anyone who doesn't like the spinning camera. Do need to find a way to slow that down a bit. I mean, I could do it very slowly, but it's a little bit unruly. Still remaining that there's a command vehicle there with absolutely nothing defending it for Hippie. Hippie now in fairly good control of the center and getting plus 3 points. Command coming in for Foxtrot, that'll drop it to plus 1. So Hippie needs to get a command in for Alpha. Awoodenbox needs to consider doing a push somewhere. He can't just sort of sit back and let this happen. He has to push. My choice would either be top or the bottom, because honestly, Hippie's concentrating everything in the center. And he can have the center if he loses Golf and Alpha. Then it doesn't matter for Awoodenbox what happens. Hippie bringing in an anti-air and a recon chopper. Sorry, an anti-tank. Not anti-air. Another command coming in at the top for Awoodenbox, so that'll be going towards the center. Another CEV coming in and a tow 2. That first CEV must have died in the middle, because I can't see it anywhere. Can't even see its carcass. Big fight going on at the bottom of this point. Various Motsuchen dotted around in there now, but they're not going to be the best in a forested area. Yes, Bradley killed that CV. Plus 1 to Awoodenbox. I knew that was coming. However, unfortunately for Awoodenbox, he is going to be taken out by this anti-tank chopper and this Su-22M 4K anti-tank jet, which is now taking a ride to the middle. I thought it was maybe going to attack something over there, but I don't think it is. This does mean, however, that we can expect some defensive units to move into Gulf now. Oh, that Su-22 is coming in for something. No, it's just flying around in circles. Thought it was swinging by to have another shot. Lots of reinforcements coming in at the top there, but I assume they're going to go up the center. Just trying to decide. Do notice a few extra units building up for Awoodenbox there, but again, it could be defensive. There's an M1A1 coming in. Hippie needs to really send that jet back to get rearmed, because he'll need that against the M1 Abrams, because realistically he doesn't have anything that's going to really hit hard in terms of tanks. He's using that to go after a chopper. Probably not the best decision. Phantom 2 cluster coming in. Going for this tank, I assume. Must be visible. Oh no. Going for the vehicles up there. MiG-29 coming in to engage that and has taken it out. MiG-29 is doing a decent job in this game. Killed an F-15, died to it, but killed an F-15 nonetheless. Command coming in for Gulf again. Very little in the way of defense. He's got an Mi-2 recon chopper there. Su-22 coming in rearmed. I imagine he'll want a piece of that Abrams if he can see it. He can. Side shot. Missed. Side shot. Strike. Oh! Double stinger hit. That's unfortunate. But when you're flying low to get the shot on a tank, that is the risk. The man-pads are powerful. Especially the stingers. Still one of the best units in the game for anti-air. Never underestimate them. AT chopper taking out that Bradley. Hippie certainly clearing a bit of space up here, but I just can't imagine him pushing that way. The bottom, again, I really wish at some point earlier Awoodenbox had pushed into that point, because there was nothing there and he just didn't know it. The power of hindsight. Conker's here. Jaeger Metis engaging on these engineers. The engineers not that good at range, unfortunately. They do have the M60, but realistically they're better if they're up close and personal with their satchel charges. Both players playing it reasonably safe, I've got to be honest, in this match. Currently +3 to Hippie, as he still has control of the centre, but there's command coming in now for Awoodenbox, so that is now neutralised. Hippie bringing in a HE bomber again. I assume going for these units in the centre at a guess. They're being a bit of a pain for him. Yeah, there we go. Nice strike. Didn't really do very much though. Second bomber coming in. Looks more like it's heading in this direction. Clearing these buildings. Yes, indeed. Attempting to, but didn't do enough damage. Another command coming in now, interestingly, at the top here. I wonder if that's a spare one for the center. Oh. It is a replacement for the center. In the midst of those bombing runs, Hippie managed to kill the one that was in the center. Obviously was able to see in that corner and hit it with a missile. That's quite unfortunate for Awoodenbox. More Stingers, command coming in, more engineers. Some tanks and Shilka coming in at the other side. Panzerjägers, some more tanks at the bottom there. I mean, there's potential for Hippie to do some kind of tank push with the T-55s, especially on the top perhaps, because there's not a lot of anti-tank there. And, you know, with enough T-55s, they're not that expensive. He could just do a tank rush. A little bit of cheese to break through in this game. "24 minutes left of this game. And right now, Hippie's still in the lead by plus 3 points. Charging up to 500, but this is a slow match. No one's giving ground. No one's taking much ground. SU-22 coming in again for a kill, I assume, on one of these Abrams. This one at the front here. Took a random shot at that Apache as well, but has died to all of that fire from the Stingers. That's an unfortunate loss. It was doing a good job, that jet. Pioneers here, engaging at range. Hippie, pay attention to your Pioneers. They are nowhere near the Engineers. You need to get up close and throw your grenades at them. Well, your satchel charges. More Engineers flash coming in at the top for Awoodenbox. More T-55s for Hippie at the top and the bottom. He could be considering now doing some kind of tank push. There's certainly enough there. These ones moving in at the centre. Obviously something to deal with these two Abrams. Obviously the thing is with the T-55s, they will have to be up close and personal to be doing large amounts of damage to those Abrams. Two tanks at the top and a Shilka with more. Another tank coming in, but it looks like it's heading to the centre. Really, perhaps what the ideal situation is would be, you know, maybe 8 tanks at the top, cheap ones, and just push them through into Hotel. But of course, in the meantime, he'll be struggling in the centre. These T-55s pushing up. Risky thing to do if he knows that those Abrams are there. Command now in again for Awoodenbox, so points neutralised. 760 to Hippie at the moment, so he is ahead. He would win if the game ended now. But something tells me this is going to be a long drawn out game unless one of them makes an aggressive move. But both players sort of focusing their attention on the centre right now. There's some Engineers Dragon coming in at the bottom here, but I think they're just going to be going in the forest. I don't think they're planning to do any kind of push here. Good use of this chopper for Hippie. He's bringing it in and out a few times, managing to dodge the Stingers. More tanks coming in there, heading towards the centre. But I do see that Hippie now is having more trouble. He's lost a lot of his forces in the centre. He was in control of this top edge. He's now not. And he never managed to secure that area to stop Awoodenbox bringing in reinforcements down this road. So it was always going to be a struggle. Lots of bombs coming in on this corner. Awoodenbox desperately trying to kill that commander. Rockets hitting this tank to stun it. One of his tanks is already dead. This one will die pretty quickly, I should imagine. Dragons are out of dragon launcher shots. So it'll be up to an Abrams to engage. Panzerjäger getting up close and personal with his Abrams. But unfortunately taking a lot of fire from the tank and also the Apache. More tanks pushing in now. These are slightly more expensive tanks with missiles. Pioneers pushing up against these tanks will not be doing anything against the tanks with the satchel charges. Motsuchin pushing into the buildings here. And the HE bomber coming in to strike at these engineers. Good hit. One squad dead, other squad damaged. Second strike coming in. Second squad dead. Very nice. Very nice. Unfortunately, he did lose one of those MiG-23s as a result of going in. However, the other one has got out intact. But he stopped that little push. Lots of reinforcements coming in at the top now for Hippie. I think he's maybe considering doing that push across the top into Hotel. That wouldn't be a bad option, but he needs to move fast before Awoodenbox can bring in reinforcements there. Phantom 2 cluster coming in to take out some of these tanks, I'm sure. Yep. Mind you, saying that, I think Hippie's already lost the other tank that was there, so he's lost at least 2 tanks in the centre. This one has survived on half health, this one up here on full health currently, but will have issues as these M1A1 Abrams pushing around the bottom. Anti-tank chopper taking fire from just some small arms fire, but certainly enough to be a significant harassment against it. No one getting any points currently. MI2 chopper scouting is coming up against a Stinger though. Supply coming in. Now that's going to be enough of a warning surely for Awoodenbox that there is a plan for Hippie to push that way. He's moving a Tor 2 up that direction. Lots of Motsuchin being called in the point for Hippie. So he is going to do a push. And there they all are coming in. Now that Tor 2 will cause a lot of problems for Hippie if it can shoot up through these trees here and onto this road. Zooming all the way out, let's have a look at the entire map. No one has any units behind really. Hippie's the one really with no defense of his units still. I mean, there's 2 commands here with nothing covering them. There's the MI2 there, but you know, infantry in choppers or, you know, any kind of chopper, a rocket Apache would get in there at the risk of being attacked by Hippie's aircraft, of course. But if you want a quick snipe on a CV, there's not a lot there. There's a scout chopper covering that, but it's not really a defensive unit. Here comes the push for Hippie at the top. Taking shots from this Tor 2. He needs to kill that Tor 2 or he's going to lose a lot of units. He needs to also get his troops out of these vehicles. Such a waste. Such a waste of infantry. Tor 2 should die, yes, but that's a significant amount of Hippie's little pushing force already destroyed. 2 troop transports, I think that was. Yep, 2 troop transports, so I assume he lost 2 squads. He's continuing his push though, however he's going to come up against clusters and there will be reinforcements coming in now for Awoodenbox. You've got to be quick with these pushes. Those Motsuchin coming in as well. Loads more being called in as well for Hippie. Holding the centre as best he can. But there's a lot of units at both sides now from Awoodenbox. Strike there trying to take out vehicles from Awoodenbox. These tanks getting further ahead now. Clara Heavy also getting quite far ahead. Mech rifles coming in here. And Engineer's Flash. Tank attempting to get some missile shots off on these vehicles. Not accurate enough though. Engineer's Dragon firing back. Missing as well. Awoodenbox trying to be aggressive in the middle, but Hippie holding the line very effectively. HE Bomber coming in there to assist those tanks. Very nice strike. Killed both squads of Engineer's Flash. Beautiful strike. Jet is dead though. Too many Stingers. F111E coming in to counter attack. striking against the anti-air and the tank. It is dead. SU-22 coming in, getting some shots off at these vehicles. 2 Apaches in play from the center. Shilkers engaging those. Not the most effective thing against choppers still. Motsuchin coming in here. I think that SU-22 would have liked to get the command vehicle, but he never got eyes on. Those Apaches will be causing lots of issues for all these infantry coming in. The Shilkers need to just push up and push up and push up. Good strike from the SU-22, taking out one of those choppers. Other one still intact, half health. 2 CEVs in as well for defensive purposes now. Possibly originally going to the center, but will make short work of all these infantry. SU-22 doing a fantastic job. Let's just check the rest of the map to make sure we're not missing anything. No push at the bottom against Hippie. Sitting pretty with absolutely no defense in Golf or between Golf and Foxtrot. In the center, not a lot of movement. More tanks coming in at the top there. Most of Hippie's infantry are dead. There are a lot more coming in though. Another Apache was coming in. But that SU-22 still going in for the kill. That's a different SU-22 because it's rearmed. CV's pushing up against these tanks. Won't do a huge amount to them, I don't think. Apache good at stunning though. And there comes another attempt to take out that Apache by the SU-22. Doesn't seem to be getting quite as lucky with this one. Needs to move that Shilker up. Command being moved to the back of the point. I think he maybe... I was going to say, where's that smoke from? But it must be from a burning vehicle. Chopper finally down, but there is an M1A1 Abrams coming in. We'll make short work of these vehicles and tanks. Hippie needs to push hard. He needs to get in that corner. He needs to get in there quickly. Even moving up that Shilker will be better than nothing. Loads more reinforcements coming in. I mean, Awoodenbox is holding here. And in the center, Hippie's getting pushed back. The Abrams has pushed up quite far. No movement at the bottom. I mean, right now, Hippie is committing completely to the top of the map. If Awoodenbox had pushed the bottom, again, the beauty of hindsight, if he'd pushed the bottom with all these units, he'd have marched straight in there and Hippie wouldn't have been able to stop him. Because he's holding here, and I don't think he would need to call in anything else to attack Golf. He could just send everything that's here. With a mixture of the scout units and these engineers and the Bradley and the Abrams, he could easily take that point. T-55s coming in again. So more Motsuchin being called in at this point. I mean, Hippie is all eggs one basket. That is a risky thing to do in this game. When you go full all eggs one basket, you have to be damn sure you're getting in. He has to kill that command, and he has to hold that point. He's expending a lot of resources. He's losing a lot of units taking this point. Cluster coming in, probably going for those tanks at the top, I would imagine. Yeah, got one of them. But has lost the jet. Abrams there. Again, going to make short work of most of these tanks. But the Abrams is almost dead. Killed by the SU-22. SU-22 has been a very good jet for Hippie in this matchup. It's taken out choppers, taken out tanks. He's still not killed this CV. And he's about to come up against a bunch more vehicles. He needs to push into that corner. He can't just keep sitting back with these vehicles, engaging other stuff. He has to just go for it. Because that's more engineers in now. Credit to Awoodenbox. He's doing a fantastic job at holding. And in the meantime is clearing up in the middle. I just wish he'd have pushed the bottom as well. because he'd have ended this game. F-15 coming in there, going for the chopper, and has killed it in one pass, taking a lot of fire though, and is dead. Another loss of an F-15. Awoodenbox not having a good day with those. Tanks coming in down the bottom, rushing along the road now, desperate to kill this command. You can do it. You have to do it. Stop getting distracted by other units and get into the corner. There we go. Finally, it's dead. +2 to Hippie. 9 minutes to go. But he's about to lose the center. Because he has nothing there. He's committed everything to the top. Now he needs to build a quick defensive line and redirect all of these units to the center. And come in behind Awoodenbox. And he needs to move quickly. Because it's about to switch to +1 to Awoodenbox. I'm still really sad for Awoodenbox that he hasn't pushed Golf. Because he could take this. He could definitely... He's on the move. Finally. The Bradleys are on the move. Come on, Awoodenbox. Don't be shy. Get in there. Move everything. Just push it all up. Look at all of this stuff. It's all still coming towards Hotel. Hippie, you've over-pushed in that area. Too many eggs, one basket. Spread them about. You've dropped it. You've cracked them all. Hippie has played such a good game. Awoodenbox has played such a good game in terms of both of them having such a good defensive capability throughout, holding points as best they can, but throwing everything at Hotel for Hippie possibly just cost him the game, because Awoodenbox is going for Foxtrot now. Not very quickly though, but you know, he is slowly moving everything. Hippie really needs to redirect units towards the center. He really needs to redirect. 7 minutes to go. Awoodenbox can still catch up here. Awoodenbox still bringing in units here as well. I suppose it's important he causes a distraction there, but I'd call in the odd unit there and be calling more in at the bottom and some for the center. Just to make Hippie think that, you know, you're still pushing and trying to get that point back, so he keeps putting units there. You notice there's a few units heading towards the center now. Nothing at the bottom. Awoodenbox really needs to be moving faster than this. He just needs to get in there. Command in this point for Hippie now will swing back in his favor. +1 to Hippie. 6 minutes to go. Well, 6 minutes 50 seconds. But it's still all to play for. At the end of the day, Awoodenbox can pull this back. He's only 300-ish points behind. But he needs to push with these units. He can't just saunter them along like this. He needs to push those two Bradleys into this point. I know he doesn't realise there's nothing there, but he needs to make an aggressive move, or Hippie has won this game. He's doing a good job at pushing back up here with these Abrams, though. Though he is taking shots from the Conkers, but they're missing. That one's at half health. This one's at half health as well. If he gets close enough to these T-55s, they will do a lot of damage. Depends who gets the shot off first here. He is very lucky that survived with a point of health, I think, in that situation. And it's dead, but they killed each other. Reinforcements finally being redirected here for Hippie to go into the center. Hippie still +1. Really need to see a push at the bottom here. Awoodenbox, I'm so disappointed for you. You could have so easily taken Golf so many times in this game. I'm so disappointed you didn't scout it. You played such a good game. And golf was yours for the taking. Hippie trying to make a push on this back point here, but is being fended off. There is some defense there. Back to +1 for Awoodenbox. He has got a command vehicle in there again. Not that many points in it at all. 350, still +1 now to Awoodenbox. He's on the move again at the bottom. Come on, you can do this. He needs to... His command has moved in the middle. Good. I was a little bit worried that Hippie was getting close to his. Units at the back here still looking for this command. Mi-8T hovering right over the top of it. Scout chopper engaging that. But he can't actually shoot at that command vehicle. I assume he can see it, but he's not shooting at it. SU-22 coming in to take the shot at it, though. Good strike. Back to +1 for Hippie, then. But it's about to be back to +1. Come on, push. Push Awoodenbox. Stop getting distracted by stuff. He's going to take this. He has to take this point now. Has retaken Hotel completely. Back to points in his favour. Now he should kill this. Don't go past it. Engage it. Now you engage. Yes, there we go. Dead. +3 to Awoodenbox. What a matchup this has turned into. SU-22 cluster coming in for the centre. I don't... Oh, is it going for this tank? I don't know what it's going for. It is. It's going for the M1A1 at the back. Good strike. Command tank coming in for Juliet now. And that'll be up to +5. That's going to be Awoodenbox catching up. Hippie still making a push in the centre here to try and recap it. But he doesn't have a command there, does he? No, he doesn't. Matsuchin coming in to try and cap this point, but... Or should I say... claim it back so he can bring a command in. Cluster bomber going for the Bradley. Good strike. Matsuchin and BMP's engaging on that. Oh, it's got a good hit. Awoodenbox somewhat in trouble in the centre. He's having to run his command around a bit. Back to +5 for him now. He's catching up. 2 minutes left to go. This game's going to be a draw. It's going to be an actual draw because I think in the rules of the tournament, it's within 200 points as a draw. So this could be an actual draw. It's not something we've seen very often in the tournament. I think the game has it where it's a percentage of the scores, or 300 or something like that, but in terms of the tournament, I believe the cutoff is 200 points. And this is going to be very close. Very, very close. Hippie could potentially slow things down by killing that CV, which he will do with his Matsuchin, I'm sure. However, it's not going to be enough. Awoodenbox is already ahead in points. So the game will be a draw with a minute left to go. Command coming in for golf. No command coming in for the centre though. And Awoodenbox just tipping the scales ahead, but I don't think with 40 seconds left on the clock he's going to have enough to breach that 200 mark. So it's going to be a draw. Command coming in, but that's way too late in the day. There's 25 seconds to go on the clock. It's not going to get to any point that it needs to get to in that amount of time. M1A1 round the back for Awoodenbox has taken out the CV that was in Alpha. That's back to +4 for Awoodenbox. In fact, he is getting very close to having a win, but that's game. And it is a true draw. He didn't quite get there. Awoodenbox, to push it over the limit to get the win. But that was an absolutely fantastic game, guys. Really well played to both of you. Hippie, you lost it when you put all your eggs in one basket, man. It was such a fantastic game, that. And Awoodenbox did such a fantastic job at holding that force back for so long and then pushing back into that point. But by that point, Hippie, I think you were done for. I mean, kills to losses, Awoodenbox was a bit ahead. But, you know, it's really neither here nor there at that point in the game. It was a long game. Apache doing a fantastic job in that game. Very early on, obviously, did a great job. Toe 2 getting a lot of kills. Engineers Dragon, the Abrams, obviously doing a fantastic job. And one area that the 4th mod switch is weak in is dealing with those Abrams. Again, Abrams doing a fantastic job. On the other side, it was the Su-22M 4K anti-tank jet that was doing a fantastic job for Hippie. He also did a great job with that chopper. Shilka got quite a few kills, but other than that, I mean, that was basically it. Really great game, guys. Stay tuned tomorrow, everyone, for the second in this matchup to see if one of them can come out on top or if it will indeed be a draw for the second game as well. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow.